Hello, I'm Cameron Kirko, the CIO here at Pitcher Partners Wealth Sydney. And what I wanted to discuss today is the economic and market outlook, particularly for the Australian economy. So, if we proceed, just to initial disclaimer, read that in due course. It's just important to note this is for general information purposes only. Now, if we turn to the Australian economy, I think there's two aspects to really highlight here. One was respectively the shock of the federal budget, where the changes to both negative gearing and capital gains have seen a lot of public focus in recent weeks. And really, what we're seeing there is a situation where we don't know just how bad the impact's going to be on the real estate market, but we are starting to see some warning signs. For example, both Westpac and Commonwealth Bank have recorded a meaningful decrease in incoming investor interest, and we're expecting to see credit growth slow markedly. We saw some signs of that in the May data, but we're expecting that to persist into June and beyond as we see that pullback of investors from the existing property market. And that could have flow-on consequences in terms of household risk appetite and spending. It's still early to say how adverse it could be, but it's one of the sort of more notable headwinds for our economy. In terms of how things are shaping up, we're actually coming to things in a relatively good place. The labour market's still reasonably tight. Jobs growth has been maintained at a reasonable clip. The government is also maintaining fiscal stimulus across both a state and federal level, and that's what that chart on the left shows. We're actually running above sort of previous financial years, the 10-year average, in terms of fiscal injections. Now, the downside on that has been inflation has been a bugbear for our economy, and we still see the RBA's upcoming August meeting as a live one, where the underlying inflation situation, if we sort of strip away sort of some of the volatility from petrol prices, is still one where there's still a lot of inflationary pressure within the economy on an underlying basis, and that could see the RBA do at least one more hike prior to year end. So that's another area where we could see another potential headwind appear for the economy. But broadly speaking, sort of we remain cautiously optimistic on Australia, and we also have other tailwinds starting to present themselves. We're seeing a real investment boom in the business sector, led by sort of data center construction and the imports related to that. So there are a number of reasons to still be optimistic on Australia, but we are conscious that there are some emerging headwinds that bear close monitoring. But by and large, we're still in a reasonably good place. Thank you.